Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I'm going to be talking about what it means for all 12 signs of the zodiac. I'm going to be going through each sign and what to expect for the month of November, depending on where the planets are placed in the heavens, relating it to either your moon sign or your ascendant. Now, if you don't know your Vedic moon and ascendant sign, you're going to have to figure this out because you cannot use your Western sun sign. It is just absolutely wrong. So in order to figure out your Vedic ascendant and moon sign, you can do one of two things. The first thing I would do is I would get the Galactic Planner, because the Galactic Planner will give you a printout of your entire chart, even the nakshatras, everything in your birth chart. And so you could go to galacticplanner.com, put all that in, and your chart will be delivered to you to print or to keep in your phone, whatever it may be. So go to galacticplanner.com. Now, if you want to just go to my website, I have a free chart calculator as well. Go to my website and you'll see where it says free chart calculator. You'll put in all of your information, including your birth time. It's on your birth certificate. By the way, if you order a birth certificate, they will not send the one with the birth time on it. You have to specify you want the original birth certificate with the birth time on it, and then you will get the one that has the time. That's if you were born in a hospital in the United States, and basically most everywhere in the world, the time is recorded. Okay, so when you do get the information off my website, make sure that you scroll all the way down to the bottom where it will tell you AS, which is your ascendant, it'll tell you the sign, and MO, which is the moon. Don't try to read those charts. They're completely different than what you're familiar with. So with that, once you find what your Vedic sidereal ascendant and moon sign are, listen to both of these, because the ascendant is actually what's going on, but the moon is so important because it is actually how you're feeling about everything, which does depict the results of what your experiences are. So both of them matter. So continuing on, before I go into all the dissertations, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Go to my website, galacticcenter.org. That's where you're going to find the chart calculator. And as well, while you're there, sign up for my free newsletter. Get all of my predictions delivered to your email every week free. Also, while you're there, check out all the advantages and opportunities you can get by being part of my Patreon page. You'll find that on the galacticcenter.org. And like I already said, check out my Galactic Planner. What it does is it calculates your chart. All of the daily transits will be outlined and sent to your calendar, so you can look at what's going on daily for your individual chart on your calendar each and every day and be prepared for everything in life. All right, so let's get going. So talking about if your moon or your ascendant sit in the sign of Aries, then transiting Mars has just entered your fourth house. And the fourth house is home and family. So there have been a lot of disruptions that are happening in the home, with your family, with your sense of security too. But you might be thinking about moving, or you might be thinking about changing something up in your house, renovating or reconstructing. Or be aware there could be some problems, some breakage and things going on in the house, such as dishwashers, air conditioners, heaters. Be prepared. Make sure that you have insurance. And another thing is this can cause some issues and problems with vehicles, your car. So make sure you have your car checked out. Make sure you have insurance. Now, The sun and the moon, the new moon actually started in your 7th house, which will deal with relationships. So there's something about newness coming with the area of relationships. If you're looking for a relationship, there's something new. If you're in one, there's something that will evolve into something new within your relationships. But this is a time of deep psychological searching, because both Venus and Mercury, especially the retrograde Mercury, is going to be in your 8th house. And Mercury in the 8th house deals with deep psychological thought, really getting to the core and bottom of things. And you have been in a process of doing some major research into different concepts and ideas and things you want to learn. The 8th house is profoundly deep. And this is a time when you are feeling compelled to do the research to find the answers that have been missing in your life. If your moon or your ascendant sits in the sign of Taurus, then Mars is transiting your 3rd house. The 3rd house deals with transit. Travels. You will be traveling to different places, maybe even unexpectedly. You have to go somewhere. And usually what I'm talking about is by car. Short distance travels. But you might even find that you are pretty much doing some commuting during this time as well. Now the sun, moon, new moon happens in your 6th house. So you are definitely looking into new health regimes, and a lot of new things are occurring in the workplace that you're going to embrace and start with. And the Mercury retrograde with Venus is also in your 7th house. So relationships are going to be a focus. Straightening things out, communicating better, getting better communications and talking things out, feeling a connection with your partner. Things have got to be resolved that haven't been discussed before. This will be healing. Another thing, if you are looking for a relationship, you can find that this is the time that you can connect with other people, find new love in relationships. But if you're in a relationship, it is time to really hash out some things that you have been pushing under the carpet for a while. It's time to get it out in the open, and this will help how you relate and how you communicate better. If your ascendant or moon sign sits in Gemini, then this means Mars is transiting your 2nd house. And the 2nd house deals with money and finances primarily. So be careful that you're not overspending and that you're not buying and jumping into things impulsively when it comes to your money matters. So be more cautious and concerned about how you spend your money. Another thing is, I gotta say that with Mars here, family matters can come up. Family matters can be, well, I gotta say, a little bit disturbing. There can be some breakups and problems with family members. So this is a time that things need to be worked out, not abruptly broken. So there's going to be some contention within the family. Now the new moon happens in the 5th house, and this means you can have some great creative ideas. And if you've been wanting to write or start a business, look into it. The only thing that I will warn you of is do it before Mercury goes retrograde, which will be around the 25th of this month, November. Now, Venus and Mercury are going to be in your 6th house. Mercury retrograde there means you can review a lot of the things that you started a while ago with health and healing. And maybe there's some things that need to be fixed within your business, within your work. And open up the lines of communications with your employees or your co-workers. If your ascendant or your moon sign sits in Cancer. Then Mars is in the first house. And this will definitely mean that you become more alive, more energetic. But be careful, because you can be more impulsive and impatient. Therefore, this could be where you're accident prone. So be cautious and don't be so impulsive and in a hurry. Look into the matters of how you are feeling and expressing yourself too, with Mars being here. Don't be overly emotional. Now the new moon happens in your 4th house, so there's new things and events that are occurring concerning your home, your property. Maybe you're decorating or you're doing something different to your home. This is what you're thinking about. It's on your mind and it will have a nice outcome. Now the Mercury, Venus are in your 5th house. And if you have children, children are going to be more communicative. They need to be heard during this time. Listen to them, hear them out, don't ignore them. And the other thing is, with Venus being there, yes, you are more creative. And possibly this is a time of new contractual agreements with people. So be aware of this. But take your time. I would definitely do this before the 25th of this month. If your moon sign or your ascendant sits in Leo, then Mars has gone to your 12th house. And in the 12th house, this can mean a lot is being brought up from your past to review, assess, and most of all to heal. But it won't be easy. There will be lots of upsets that bring up old feelings from your past. And with Mars being in your 12th house, let me say this, and this is crucial. You won't be able to rest and sleep at night. Something is keeping you up. Make sure you get proper exercise and you're eating right so that it doesn't take away from your sleep patterns, because this could cause you to be sick and not feel well. Now with the moon, the new moon is going to be in your 3rd house. So this is a time that you're going to start thinking about how you communicate, and possibly there will be visitations from a sibling this month where you come together, talk things out. Another thing is, you may find that you're traveling more, there's more of a commute, and you're busy going places in the car a lot. Now the Mercury retrograde with Venus are in your 4th house. And this means that you need to reconnect with something that you've been putting off that needs to probably be fixed in the home or your living space. Get that organized. You need to organize things here. Another thing is, pay attention to your mother. Your mother needs to be heard, express herself more to you if she's still around. If not, you'll be thinking of her more. Something will come in that will reconnect you with the past, definitely with the past, and especially with your mother. If your moon or your ascendant sits in the sign of Virgo, you're going to find that friends and people, groups and organizations that you normally spend time with seem to become out of touch, out of reach. And there's a conflict with people. You don't feel like your friends are being friends anymore. They're causing you grief. They're causing you upset. It might be time to change some of the friendships in your life. this is what you need to start assessing. Are these people adding value to my life or ripping it apart and making me feel uncomfortable? It's time for a change in the area of the people you hang with, your groups, and your friends. Now the sun and the moon, the new moon's in the second house. There can be some new opportunities with money. How you make your money. This is a new beginning, a new start with you, and you'll find there's more meetings and time spent with your family. Now the Mercury is in your third house with retrograde with Venus, so the third house definitely deals with how you communicate, and you're going to find it's time for you to reassess and look at your communications from a different level. Another thing is definitely with this, you will be communicating more, maybe learning and straightening things out with one of your siblings. And maybe you'll be driving or commuting more to see one of your siblings. If your moon or your ascendant sits in Libra, then this Mars, which is making such a strong impact on people these days, is in your 10th house. And this means you will be extraordinarily busy in the workplace. Things are going to take off, you're going to be busy, but I will say your boss, if you work for somebody, will be difficult. Very difficult, could even change, but this is a time when you'll find issues and problems in the workplace with your boss or with the company. Things are turning around and shifting, and there's problems with the business. If you own your own business, there will be some major disruptions. The sun and the moon are in, the new moon is in your first house. This is a new beginning for you. It always is this time of year. Things are changing in terms of how you feel about your life. And ultimately, you will create the change you need to find satisfaction in what you're doing and who you are. Now, the Mercury retrograde with Venus are in your second house. The second house deals specifically with your money and finances. And this means you need to regroup, reorganize, and reassess where your money is going out to. So check the books, check what's going on. You might find there's a place where money has been leaking out that can be cured and fixed. So definitely take a look at this. And there may be some important meetings that you need to come together with your family. If your moon or your ascendant sit in the sign of Scorpio, this means that Mars is in your 9th house. And of course, this can mean some kind of trips could come up. Sudden trips, big trips, long trips. But all at the same time, Mars here will put a big change of energy in how you feel about things philosophically, spiritually. And there is a deep inner search going on for and with you. Also, if your father's still around, you might find that there is a problem communicating with him. There will be anger and discord and disruption with you and his relationship. And it might mean that he could be accident prone as well. So the new moon activates your 12th house, which means, yes, things of the past are coming up for a healing, and you will do so. The Mercury Venus sit in your first house, and Mercury retrograde in the first house. You are reassessing your direction in life. It's a big time of looking at how things need to change within you, and even concerning your appearance. You might find it's time to buy some new clothes, to change your look, your hair, makeup. Anything to do with changing the physical body is what you're concerned with and focused on. If your ascendant or your moon sign sits in Sagittarius, this Mars is in your 8th house, and this is tough. This is a time of deep core analysis, looking deep into the soul, what needs to change. Emotionally, you're going to feel somewhat distraught, upset about things. Furthermore, when Mars is here, be aware of the money that you share with other people. There may be some issues and problems with how your partner feels about you spending the money. So get that looked at and take care of it. But Mars being here can reveal some secrets from the past. Be aware some digging up of old memories and things can cause a lot of discord and problems going on at this time. So the new moon occurs in your 11th house, which means there are new people coming into your life this month. New connections, new groups, new interactions with friends that you never thought you'd be friends with, but now you have a new group of people. Now the Mercury retrograde with Venus are in your 12th house. The 12th house does deal with the past as well. So there's going to be instances of things coming up from the past, and you've got to work it out. You've got to process all of this. You've got to talk it out with the people that you're having concerns about or issues. This will heal so many things that have been bothering you from the past. And pay attention to your dreams. You will be having much more vivid dreams at this time. That actually will be revealing things you need to know. If your ascendant or your moon sign sits in Capricorn, then Mars is in your 7th house. And this will stir the pot up with a lot of issues with relationships. There could be some discord, there can be some fighting, there can be some endings here because a lot will come out. A lot of emotional stuff will come out from your partner. And if you're looking for a partner and you're going out, you might find that there's too much contention in the air for you to get along with people. So it may be difficult to find a partnership at this time. Now the new moon is going to be in your 10th house. So there's something new that's coming about concerning your work and your career. New ideas, new positions. And it is definitely something positive in the way of career and work. Now, the retrograde Mercury and Venus are in your 11th house. And the 11th house deals with groups and friends. You're going to have some really different exchanges with your friends. And I'll say this, maybe some friends from the past will come back that you need to reconnect with. Maybe even bring to a resolution some issues you've been having with friends. Also, you will find that this is a time for you to dream and dream big about what it is you want to manifest in your life. And if you have an older sibling, it is time for you to reconnect with them as well. If your moon or your ascendant sits in Aquarius, then this means that Mars is in your 6th house. And you might find that you are motivated in a big way to exercise, get out, be active, and change some old negative health patterns. In the workplace, you might find a lot of contention. Co-workers seem to work against you, and employees seem to undermine you. Be aware of conflict in the workplace. The new moon will set place in your 9th house. And the 9th house is the house that deals specifically with spirituality and truth. So you have new thoughts, new ideas about your spirituality. and or you might be planning some new trips for the future. This will be good. And if your father's still alive, you will have communication with him throughout this month at some point. The retrograde Mercury and Venus will be in your 10th house. And this means things need to be cleared up, straightened up within your career, and also dealing with your social standing around the workplace. So the workplace and the career are intermingled in many ways. This will be a focus. Your career focus is being looked at. And I think people around the workplace are making it difficult at this time. But you can straighten things out by opening the lines of communications, especially with employees or if you work for someone, your boss. If your moon or your ascendant sits in Pisces, then Mars is in your 5th house. And the 5th house is the house of ideas, creativity. And a lot of ideas have been coming to you. It's just you can't, there's so many, you can't hone them in. It's like, slow down and think about what you're doing. And yes, you can be more creative at this time. Now, if you have children, your children will be much more aggressive, much more combative, and difficult to deal with. And when it comes to your thinking mind, you might find that your thoughts are on overdrive and you need to just simply slow down. But the new moon occurs in your 8th house. And the 8th house deals with major change and transformations. So you're thinking deeply and profoundly about how you can initiate some very positive changes in your life, and especially working on yourself psychologically, what you can do to help yourself transform and change your habits, your patterns, who you are, to make life different and better. Now, the retrograde Mercury and Venus are in your 9th house, and this means definitely you are reassessing the way you believe, your spirituality, your truths in life. This is all coming down and transforming in a new way. You might find that it's time for you to start studying something, especially along the lines of spirituality. And if your father's still around, you will have some things to work out with him. And this will be a good result. Something needs to be uncovered, addressed, and worked out, and this will heal your relationship. And there may be some important trips that come about at this time. It's a good time for you to go on a trip and travel. So with that, I have covered all 12 signs of the zodiac. I hope this helps you, gives you guidance. But let me just say this. If you want to see more detail than what I just gave you, use my Galactic Planner. Go to galacticplanner.com and you will have all of this in greater detail. Plus, if this inspired you to learn astrology, go to my university website, become my student. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.